He was 20 years old, the most feared man alive, and the most broken. This is the story behind the monster they built and the boy they left inside him. Stay with us. Before the championship, before the scandal, before the ear, there was Brownsville, and Brownsville doesn't let you go. Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the poorest, most violent neighborhoods in America. Mike Tyson was born into it in 1966. His father was gone before he could remember. His mother was fighting her own wars. By the age of 10, he had been arrested dozens of times. Pigeons on the roof, fists in the street. He was small, lisping, and soft-voiced, and they preyed on him until he learned to pray back. At 12, he landed in the Tryon School for Boys, a reform institution upstate. It should have been the end. Instead, it was the beginning. Bobby Stewart, a counselor and former boxer, saw something in the boy. He called Cus D'Amato. Cus was 72 years old, a legend, the man who had built Floyd Patterson and Jose Torres into world champions. He watched Tyson spar for 2 minutes. Then he said, "That boy will be the heavyweight champion of the world." Cus brought Mike to the Catskills, to a Victorian house in Catskill, New York. He took him in as a son, fed him, schooled him, gave him the one thing Brownsville never had: structure, love, purpose. Cus taught him the peekaboo style, hands high, chin tucked, constant head movement. It turned Tyson's short reach into a weapon. He slipped punches like smoke, then exploded from angles no one saw coming. Amateur record, 24 wins, 21 knockouts. He did not win fights. He ended them. Junior Olympic gold, national golden gloves. By 15, he was a man no grown fighter wanted to face. He turned professional in 1985, 19 years old. His first pro fight lasted 1 minute and 47 seconds. The man across from him never threatened the scorecards. He destroyed 26 opponents in his first year and a half. Many quit before the final punch landed. The fear was the weapon. He understood that. He weaponized it consciously. And then, November 4th, 1985. Cus D'Amato died, pneumonia. He was 77. Mike was 19. He had been a professional boxer for less than a year, and the only father he ever knew was gone. 11 months later, November 22nd, 1986. Mike Tyson stopped Trevor Berbick in 2 rounds. He was 20 years and 4 months old, the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a record that still stands. He unified the belts, WBC, WBA, IBF, undisputed. The word barely contained what he was. He moved at speeds heavyweights had no answer for. Combination punching that defied physics. He was, simply, the baddest man on the planet. But Cus was gone, and without him, the wolves arrived. Don King entered the picture. New management, new handlers. The system around Tyson was no longer built to protect him. February 11th, 1990, Tokyo, Japan, the Tokyo Dome. Tyson was 37-0. His opponent, James Buster Douglas, was a 42-1 underdog. No one had a suitcase packed for overtime. In round 8, Tyson landed an uppercut. Douglas went down. The count reached 9. He rose and kept fighting. Something had shifted. The fear, the weapon, was gone. Round 10. Douglas hit Tyson with a 4-punch combination. The heavyweight champion of the world went down. He fumbled for his mouthguard on the canvas. The referee counted to 10. The unbeatable man was beaten. There were comeback fights. But in 1991, Desiree Washington accused Mike Tyson of rape. In February 1992, a jury agreed. He was sentenced to 6 years in the Indiana Youth Center. He served 3. In prison, he found Islam. He read voraciously, Mao, Voltaire, Machiavelli. He emerged in 1995 with a face tattoo, a new faith, and wounds that had never been treated. The boy in Brownsville had never been treated. He came back. 2 fights, 2 knockouts. The ferocity was still there, buried but alive. The world held its breath. Could the baddest man reclaim what was taken? November 9th, 1996, Evander Holyfield, the man who had never feared him. 11 rounds. Tyson was stopped for the first time by a legitimate heavyweight. It shook something loose. June 28, 1997, the rematch. Round 3. Tyson bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's right ear and spat it onto the canvas. The arena erupted into chaos. The fight was stopped. The world did not know whether to be horrified or heartbroken. His boxing license was suspended. He was fined $3 million, and the image of a man crouching, biting, desperate, replaced every memory of the destroyer he had been. He had never learned another way to fight back. He had earned over $400 million. By 2003, he was bankrupt. The mansions, the Bengal tigers, the entourage, all gone. He owed the IRS. He owed promoters. He owed everyone. The boy from Brownsville had always been surrounded by people who took. He kept fighting because there was nothing else. Kevin McBride stopped him in 2005. He retired, then came back, then retired again. Each time the eyes said the same thing. The fire was still there. The direction was lost. In 2013, he opened up publicly about addiction, crack cocaine, and alcohol. He wept on television. The most fearsome man in sports history sat in front of cameras and cried. And the world finally saw what Cus had always known was there. In 2012, Mike Tyson stood on a Broadway stage, alone, one spotlight, no gloves. He told his own story for 2 hours and made them laugh, made them cry. Spike Lee directed it. The boy from Brownsville had found another arena. He got sober. He became a father, a devoted one. He spoke at universities. He grew cannabis legally in California. He reinvented himself, chaotically, honestly, imperfectly. The only way Brownsville ever taught anyone to survive. In 2024, at 58 years old, he stepped back through the ropes against Jake Paul. Netflix carried it live. The world watched a grandfather of boxing stand in the ring one last time, not because he had to, perhaps because he had never learned how to leave it. 58 professional fights, 50 victories, 44 by knockout, 12 rounds of the most destructive boxing the heavyweight division had ever seen. And underneath all of it, a kid from Brownsville who just wanted someone to believe in him. The monster and the boy were never two different people. They were always the same child. The one who learned that the only way to stop being hurt was to become the thing that hurts. Most of us never had to learn that lesson. Mike Tyson never stopped paying for it. Cus D'Amato once said, "The hero and the coward both feel the same fear. The hero uses it, the coward runs." Mike Tyson felt more fear than any man alive. He ran toward it for 40 years. That is not nothing. That is everything. Mike Tyson, born June 30th, 1966, Brownsville, Brooklyn. He became the most dangerous man his sport had ever seen, and never, not once, stopped being the boy no one came back for.